Yeah, there was one meme that was the NFL has decided to cancel the rest of the postseason and just make the Super Bowl a best of 7 series between the Chiefs and the Bills. And
Yeah.
give me more Chiefs and
Who
Bills,
wouldn't want
please.
that? I mean, yeah, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna take over now. I'm gonna
yeah,
go.
it's all yours.
I'll address the overtime stuff a little later. I want to get this off my chest
No, go.
first. So yeah, I want to start with this. I started this show back in 2020 of July of 2020. It was about like 2 weeks before my birthday. And I started it during a time when there really wasn't a lot of sports. I mean, especially from like March of 2020 through like June of 2020. I mean, sports were pretty much dead compared to what they were before. It was dead. And that's kind of a reason why I wanted to start this. Because of that absence, I wanted to at least have something that I knew I could go to and I could talk about sports and read about sports and actually have at least somewhat of a side life that was dedicated to sports because there was none to watch really. And since I've started that back in, almost 2 years ago now, or actually, no, it's over 2 years ago now. No, not 2 years ago now. I'm bad with math. Sorry. Point is, since I've started, there's been absolutely wonderful times. There's been some down times at points. Either way, it doesn't matter. I've loved every second of since I've started this show. I've had so many people come on. I mean, Parker, you've been one of the best add-ons. I mean, it's been really nice to have you on the show. Just want to get that out there.
Thank you.
Point is, but like enough monologue. Nights like last night are why we do this show. Plain and simple. Last night, I don't even know how. I wish I could have recorded like the atmosphere and this like the situation that went on last night, like in my dorm room, because it was
anything to be at that.
Because it was magical. I mean, my God, people who were at the game, that like you got every dollar worth of your playoff ticket in that game.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But I want to just quickly describe, because you actually touched upon it earlier. I had 4 people in my room who were questioning why I was so invested in a game on TV because they're not huge football fans. They don't really care. And once it got to the fourth quarter, they acted like they had watched football like since I had watched football. Game made anyone who sat down and watched that game immediately became a football fan, regardless of what they thought of football before. They were glued to that screen. It was honestly magical what that game was doing to people. Like, it was literally like flipping everything they would have thought. It was crazy. And back to the point, nights like that are why we do this show, why we stay up writing scripts till 1 a.m, preparing for a show in the morning, why I take the time and try to get people who I know are very respected in the sports media industry to come on this show and talk about sports. Why I do all of this stuff is because of that game last night. That's how special sports can be. And as much, it's honestly almost negative, Parker, because I know that game happened. It's almost like I know every game after that is going to be a slight letdown because I know nothing can really.
The Super Bowl will not be as impressive as
no.
I'm almost certain.
If it is, I mean, my God! But just sitting here now talking about it, it feels like no game could ever top what the emotions of that Bills and Chiefs game was last night.
Yeah.
Now, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Parker, 2 years ago. That was easily, I think, the most emotional and happiest moment in my life as a sports fan. I think that's pretty fair to say.
Yeah.
Last night, Parker, I would argue it was essentially equal to that Super Bowl. I know it was just at the end of the day, it was just a divisional round playoff game. The Chiefs still have to win the AFC Championship game against the Bills to even go to the Super Bowl. Does not matter. That game last night, I mean, Parker, the game was over. It was over. Josh Allen throws a touchdown. Wait. Josh Allen throws a touchdown with 13 seconds left. The game's over.
16.
It's over.
Was it 16?
No, it was
It was
13
16.
seconds. I think it was
13.
Yeah, because when they kicked
It doesn't matter.
they kicked the ball off, but they for some reason decided
Yeah.
not to squib it, and they kicked it in the back. So it was 13 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
The game is over. Except they were going against Patrick Mahomes. They're going against Mahomes, who night in and night out just continues to prove to people that this guy is just different. It doesn't. There really is no words to describe it. I mean, I could sit here talking about how he's reading the field just differently, how he can use his arm angle to throw under defender. That throw where he threw it like
that sidearm throw,
it was almost like softball to get it under Gregory Rousseau's shoulder or arm. Like it's ridiculous the talent that this kid has. Still, words really can't describe how great this quarterback can be. I still think he can improve in areas. And that's with the performance that he had last night. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I kind of compare it to LeBron with the NBA because Mahomes is obviously not going to win MVP every year. I mean, that no one would allow that. But everyone deep down knows who the alpha dog is. Everyone knows who they would least like to face with 13 seconds left in the game and a chance to win the game, who they would not, if they could pick anyone not to play against. It is Patrick Mahomes. He is the alpha. Last thing here, Mahomes coming into this game never really had a nickname that kind of stood for him. I mean, obviously, I think if you ask people who are Chiefs fans and people who obviously follow Mahomes closely, that I guess his like unofficial nickname is Showtime. That nickname. Is that
true? I've never heard that.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Point is that nickname never really stuck, nationally. Yeah. It never really was a thing for him. Now he has a nickname that I think can stick because Andy Reid essentially gave it to him post game in his post game comments. Patrick Mahomes now, even if it doesn't stick, I'm still going to call him this. Patrick Mahomes now can also be called, AKA the Grim Reaper, because no matter what you do, no matter if you think the game is over, if there's 13 seconds, it doesn't matter. No matter what, the Grim Reaper never fails to deliver. He's always coming up behind you. He's inevitable. It doesn't matter what you can do. Mahomes, he's Thanos. You can also call him Thanos because Thanos is inevitable. Mahomes is just that dominant. I can't even. I know I've been talking too long. Mahomes, he's the greatest. I literally tweeted out last night, Parker, I'm the happiest person in the world right now. Like it was that spectacular of a game.